Hi folks, back with you again after that wonderful 7-day trip to the Caribbean, experiencing all the wonderful islands, coming out of Fort Lauderdale down to St. Kitts, onto Puerto Rico and down by the Bahamas. It was absolutely wonderful. The trip itself was great. I've told you throughout all my vlogs how wonderful it was. Nice, just relaxing on the sea, traveling. You can't feel much on the boat. And then the worst of it all is actually coming back into dock, the Fort Lauderdale, waking up in the morning, and instead of looking out of my wonderful grand suite, I'm seeing concrete. That was the worst of my whole trip, knowing that I finally arrived back at Fort Lauderdale, and shortly I'll be having my last breakfast on board and departing from the wonderful Royal Caribbean Allure of the Seas. I will let the vlog play and I'll get back to you after and give you a closure and what my intentions are in the future. Bye for now. Hey folks, currently in Miami. Didn't give you a rundown of the night, the last night in the on board the Royal Caribbean Allure of the Seas. Absolutely wonderful, beautiful night. We tipped the waiter as well. He done a very good job while we was there. We also tipped the person who's doing our room. He did give us some information while at dinner. I think the last time I spoke to you was just before dinner time. The way to give him information about what the position is there. If we don't survey his position, he can't change his position or anything like that. It all depends on the people who he's served and put him in the position that he is, and maybe you gifted him a better position. So there's a survey to fill out, and he did encourage us to try and figure it out, but it shows how hard those guys on board work, and every little thing counts. As we pay their gratuities, we still feel obliged to still give them a tip because of the wonderful work they did. You couldn't ask for nothing more, whatever you wanted, especially dinner time or even in the room. I had the incident where it was a formal night. I didn't have a tie. And I thought, wow, I need a tie. And that tie came to my room, and a choice of ties within a matter of 10 minutes. Yeah, I paid $8, and not to keep the tie, rent the tie. But it was worth it. I needed it, and I wanted it, and I got it, and it's wonderful. That's about the Royal Caribbean. I would big them up for that, definitely. If they say they'll do their very best to get something done, or they're going to do it, that was great. Yeah, the night was wonderful. We played a bit of casino, didn't win nothing as per usual, but had a few beers. Karaoke night again at one of the pubs, wonderful. As I said, I'll give you a bit more rundown. My whole idea of this whole complete, giving you information of my trip, my birthday trip, my 50th birthday celebration to Miami, out on board after Allure on the Seas for the wonderful 7 days, and then back to Miami, which I'm here right now, and ready to ready to go up to the plane for my final journey home. So coming from the UK, you are spotted quite a lot over here because there isn't much people actually travel from the UK to actually come to get on the boat, the Royal Caribbean. To be honest, I can't say there's more than 10 people that was on the UK. I didn't meet none actually. Or did we? Yeah, I think we met one. Some information from people coming from where was it again? Where did they meet the person from? Was it? Yeah, Sutton Coldfield. It was a bit of a shock. That was quite close, but they said a lot. But yeah, this video would encourage hopefully a lot of people to do it. It was a definitely worth a trip of a lifetime. Very good experience. Americans well behaved, to a degree, but yes, I always say they're much louder than what we are. But yeah, there's certain things where we would do things different. We don't have much of our tea flying about the place. They've got something called breakfast tea, but yeah, as I said, if there isn't a lot of people coming from the UK, which I think there should be, then obviously they can't cater. But once we start putting our twos and fro's in and say, yeah, we're travelling, we want to share off that ship, which there was Irish bar there, but there wasn't an Irish lady singing music or anything to that degree. It was a cozy bar. That was basically it. Everybody else around was American, so no, we need to put our foot down and say, yeah, we want, there's something that we would want on this ship. Nothing else more I did pick up on the boat trip. I must say the trip coming over, there was a few boats that we've seen as well, and it was very, 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 very nice to know that the journey was successful on the ship, and I very much enjoyed it. I keep saying so. The worst part of my trip was basically when you wake up yesterday morning, arriving in Fort Lauderdale, looking outside, and all what you see, you don't see no more. You're actually seeing concrete, tons and tons of concrete all around you. You're thinking, yeah, that's it. The departure was very fast. We actually changed our time for being picked up from 8:30 to 9:30. Mistake. We did not need to change our time. To 8:30 would have been fine. We actually got out in a matter of 15 minutes from on board that ship, from the 17th floor right down outside, past customs, right. When you get out there, it was like you was like a piece of luggage again, because there was so much people and the information to where you've got to go. There isn't nothing basically. I mean, if there was something like being picked up by your transfer taxi or anything like that, that would be understandable. But it wasn't. It was not marked up. I would say they've got a lot of work to do around that area. I dislike the idea of when you just come after you come from holidays, like, oh, go, 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 go. You've got to, that's it. We don't care about you no more. I don't like that. I prefer that. Let they finish it off with a nice little bang. It's comfortable to go outside. You know where to stand, but it's not marked up properly. It's hard to understand. The sheriffs were out there at that stage as well. I was shocked the way they was very handling a lot of things out there, but they know exactly how they've got to get the traffic moving and do what they've got to do. Obviously, I think the place is not big enough. I don't think about organised. I think it's not big enough. I think, like I said, they should have more sections. There was something marked taxi, but did that mean you wanted a taxi, or did that mean your taxi is coming for you? There was nothing marked like your transfer taxi or anything. And not only that, where we came in is where we came out. So that is, I think, where the mistake was made. You should have two separate areas completely, in and out, taxi transfer. Well, if they look at the UK, you can see the difference in how we do our organisation of people following. We've got coaches, we've got trains, we've got taxi, we've got taxi pickup. We've got a lot of different sections. Not only that, you can split up a lot for that. And then you got general pick up a taxi, which is fair enough, But they've done it before, millions of times before. There's a lot of people. As I said, they've got to deal with 6,000 people at one time coming off that boat. So you can imagine that they have to get things shifting. And I could imagine if there was another boat aside, I could imagine that place would just be hectic, So with their organisation, I hope that they was all right. Now we're back in Miami now, which we did finally get the taxi. He was on time to what we said that we change it to, but we waited an hour unnecessarily, but we know hopefully next time. And then, yeah, nice trip down, and met the taxi driver, and he actually was from Manchester, actually. That was quite fun. And yeah, we've reached and Miami last night. We didn't do too much, just done something local. we're just simmering down now because we know the holiday's coming to an end, so we're just literally simmering down. Had a little meal last night. Done some walking. A nice little supermarket across the road. Burger King across the road as well from here. Went to our room. Not we found out that our room was not even ready at that stage, but kindly enough, they did get us in the room by about midday, which is wonderful because, as I said, it's up to about 2, 3 o'clock without you getting in the room. Wasn't too pleased about the room though. I'm not too happy as to if you went back to the beginning, you'll find out that I wasn't too happy being here at one stage because they didn't give us a room for 3 people, and then we had that lot of authorization, and then they compensated for that. The room again, they put us in the room, and I thought floor 7. I thought, well, at least we could get some rest in the earlies, just make do. In the room itself, in the bathroom, there was nothing to hang your towel on. It was missing from the door. The curtain rail, the bracket was not fixed properly. That was ready to drop off, and there was a noise coming from the actual shower itself, which didn't help because it was a very noisy noise. I wasn't too happy about that either. The floor 7, no. The floor that we was up, I like that. It was a nice view. It just felt like it was on holiday. I didn't feel like I was on holiday, and I just thought I'd just put in any other room. But in respect that they gave me that room before time, I've just left everything. I didn't make no complaint or no fuss about it. But I do think I should take more in consideration as to what we've spent on our journey and how much we've travelled and stuff like that to give us that extra bit of boost, make us feel good. I know more than likely he would say that that's the only room we had, but I wouldn't have minded waiting just to get a better room higher up, so you'll get a better view. Beautiful views from here, absolutely tremendous. We took some nice skylight views which I could put on as well. Beautiful. Planes are very close. It's amazing how close those planes landing. It's not too far from the airport, so it is quite good. Otherwise than that, we didn't go out that night. We stayed local. We had Italian. They've got a few restaurants not too far on board, and the Italian food was quite good for the night. Settled. Went to bed early enough. Watched a bit of TV, and basically woke up this morning. Took a walk out back to the supermarket. Got some stuff for like breakfast. And we ate that. Good breakfast is very expensive here. Beer's very expensive here. You're paying approximately. I just bought a beer just now. It cost me about $7, which I thought a bit ridiculous when you think about it. £7, £7 for a beer. We're now at the present waiting to depart to go to the airport, which we're going to be picked up at 2:20. We had to leave the room by 12 o'clock. So basically, we've got 2 hours. Sitting down, there's some comfortable places to sit down. This place has quite a few areas that you can just sit and relax, so it's not too bad, luckily, I must say. So not discomforted anyway, it is comfortable. And nobody's kicked us out yet, so it's all good. And when I speak to you again, I'll be hopefully back in the UK, home safely, and give the last rundown, and then start my process of giving you a daily update of what took place again. This will be hopefully set on YouTube, so it should give you an idea of everything in full details, taking my topics and actually able to answer any of your questions. If you want any questions answered, I should be able to do that too. Should be able to hook me up online as well, and I could do some live talks as well. So basically, hopefully, this will be all set up by my producer. I'll name him Mr. Sean. Well, yes, he's been doing good. He's been doing most of the film, except on one occasion where I've done it myself. So if you see a big difference in me shaking and him, there's a big difference in that. So I thank him. So he's the one who's going to be actually able to get me online and get me going and getting to speak to you guys and speak to you live and give you information that you require, give you that encouragement, and make you feel like you want to go on that trip, because it was worth it. But like I said, there's a lot of details that you'll have to speak to your agent with and directly tell them this is what I want, this is how I want it. Especially when it comes around staying in rooms, in hotel rooms. This hotel, like I said, can be nice, but you got to get the right room. And not only that, it's in a good location to go to the so-called the strip or the beachfront. It's just called again Ocean Drive, and that's got a lot of bars and restaurants, which is a very nice drive. The taxi's there to get you there, and as I said, if you go in the groups, you make sure that you get the taxi number so you can phone them direct. Let they come with a taxi for you, because it's not worth it. We went on the first night and we had to catch 2 different taxis, and that cost us $16 for each taxi. That was $32. On the way back, we managed to catch 1 taxi, and that only cost us $16. So that's food for thought. Okay, I thank you, and I'll speak to you when I get back to UK. Bye for now. Hi guys, thanks for listening. That's vlog number 11, and I thank you for listening to all my vlogs throughout my wonderful cruise through the Caribbean. And I also just want to thank all my members who subscribe and like. I have not completed my vlogs, and one of my biggest challenges right now is talking to Royal Caribbean themselves regarding some questions that you put through on my vlogs, and getting some answers to you on my video link again on, I cannot exactly tell you when, but best thing for you to do not to miss out is subscribe to my channel. Just want to say a big thank you to the consultant who actually got me onto this cruise. It's very hard. One of the hardest things is to decide what company you can trust. It's a lot of money that you invest in having a wonderful time. So thank you to Jenna McGee, a specialist cruise consultant for cruise.co.uk. Just let her know buzz vlogs you've been watching, and intend to have a wonderful time on the cruises from cruise.co.uk. So thanks again for watching my vlogs, and I'll see you next time. You